I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. Stack my money to the sky, I'm just grinding out here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it. All my faith is in God, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm a walking, living legend, ain't no doubt about it.
Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Made in America, and I am sitting down with another legend. I'm sitting down with Miss Alita from Shangri-La Spa, and I can't wait for her to share her story. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be talking to you tonight.
Oh, you're so funny. You don't have to thank me. I'm happy to have you on. Happy to sit down and talk with you anytime.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so we're going to get into it. We're going to just get right into it. So I'm going to share a little bit about her because she's so modest, y'all. She works super hard. She's a single mom, and that in itself deserves a hand clap for real. I mean, it's hard to have a career, and then still start your own business. Like you say, I'm going to do it for myself. I'm going to go ahead and just start the spa and go for it. So we worked together. I'm going to give you a little backstory. We worked together, and I didn't even know she could do all these things, but she always came in, dressed, looking nice. And I'm like, dang, okay, what's she doing now that we don't work together anymore? And she started a spa. That's why she always looks good, y'all. So this is where I go to get my hookup. This is where I go to get, looking nice, looking refreshed and feeling good. So talk about that. Being a working mom, taking care of yourself, self-care, why is that important?
I think it's important for everybody. A lot of people think they have to have a ton of money to do self-care. I think self-care can be a lot of different things. Just thinking positive can be self-care. Reading a little bit every day can be self-care. Soaking your feet can be self-care. Doing a deep conditioning treatment can be self-care. I just think it's important for everyone to look good and feel good.
I love that. Talk about starting your own business. Were you nervous? Were you scared?
No, the only thing I was nervous about, to be honest with you, is it takes, when you are a single parent and it really is only your income, you have to think about medical insurance for your kids and, okay, am I going to be able to do that all by myself? Am I going to be able to make exactly what I make, if not more, than what I'm getting at my job? That's the only thing that was nervous. I've never had any doubts about it. I've always had little side hustles and little businesses. Anyone that knows me knows I was always delivering food. I was always cooking, delivering breakfast burritos, or I was always braiding someone's hair. And I've always had businesses. They just, it wasn't an actual
brick and mortar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've always kind of been an entrepreneur. Ever since I was actually a kid, I was always doing something.
Oh, my goodness.
So, no, that didn't make me nervous. It was just having enough faith in myself to actually put my all into it.
Ooh, talk about that. That's so good. We talk about on this show a lot, talk about having faith in ourselves. Mm-hmm. And actually our theme for 2019 is living with no fear. I've been saying that constantly on my timeline and constantly on my Facebook, just no more fear. Go out and do what you have to do. And I feel like that you are doing that and inspiring others to do that through self-care. I mean, can you share a little bit more about, diversity? Because I know that you see a diverse group of clients. It doesn't matter what you are, mm-hmm. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. You kind of focus on what they need for their body.
I love people. I love meeting different people. I grew up around a lot of different nationalities, cultures, people with different religious backgrounds. I mean, everything under the sun. So I love people in general. I love getting to know my clients, all of them. I mean, it doesn't really matter the race, diversity is important to me. It's in culture, being around different cultures is important to me. I want to learn really about everybody. Like that's important to me. It's interesting to me. But as far as self-care, I promote just growth within all my customers. I promote being healthy, not just, physically, but like mentally, emotionally. I meet so many interesting people, and we always talk, and I always learn so much about them.
And, it's nice to know that someone else thinks of you highly. And I think one of the things that we did during my appointment when I came in here, she just kind of was like, look, you need to take care of yourself. You need to think of yourself as not just a mom and a wife and a worker. You need to think of yourself as, you're a person that needs nourishment just like everybody else. You nourish everybody else, nourish yourself. And I think that's super important, especially to all of the people out there that are my women customers and my men. Y'all got to find ways to take care of yourself, because who else is going to take care of you better than you? You're going to have to do it. And so when I came to my first appointment, and I'm going to just share a little bit, I actually did the microblading, which I was super nervous about because I don't do a lot of stuff on my face, you guys. I'm like, no, I don't have time. But it actually did kind of give me a lot more confidence. It gave me that boost that I needed to go, you know what? It's okay to spend some time with yourself and spend time on yourself and, get out there and, maybe take a few extra minutes for yourself in the morning or at the end of the day. So I encourage you to find out what your one thing may be. Maybe it's facials, maybe it's relaxation, maybe it's meditation, whatever it may be. Find that one thing and do your self-care, because once she encouraged me to do that, I felt 10 times better. I feel like a whole new person. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm a whole new me. I'm me 2.0. All right, so
important.
I mean, what other things do you do at the spa? I know you do microblading.
Yeah, I also do facials. I also do manicures, pedicures. I do lash lifts now, so lash perms. I do lash and brow tints.
Oh my goodness. And it's super chill in here, y'all. Like, we're sitting
Really
in the spa right now, and it's
I
like,
love it here. I absolutely
it's like some
love
different
it
kind of
here.
air in here. I'm breathing all clearly.
It's I like to keep things that are pretty laid back around me, not just here, but just in my actual life. Like, I just like to be relaxed. I think it's peace in your life is just important in general. So,
do you find it easy to balance things in your life? I mean, how are you balancing everything, being now the owner of a spa, and I know you have 2 beautiful children. Whew,
thank you.
Girl, you're so busy.
They are pretty. No, you know what? I don't think I've ever had time to think that it was hard. I've always been I've been busy with them. My son is 15, so I've been doing this for a little while. I think if you sit down and you think about it, it is hard. But I feel like you kind of do what you have to do as a parent in general. I try really hard to just, like I said, bring peace to myself, even if it's just a little bit of quick meditation. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. Everyone does. I always try and remember, okay, I have it so good. I am so blessed to be able to be doing what I love. I'm so thankful. Anyone that knows me knows I am so thankful. Like, I'm thankful that I have hands. I'm thankful that I have a little bit of talent. I'm thankful that I have the drive to want to learn more and everything. So I feel like those things bring me peace, even when I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I had such a busy day, or I have this to do, or this, and I have to do this, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how am I going to balance all this? A lot of times I just take 1 minute and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy that I'm having this problem. A lot of people can't work. A lot of mothers don't have their health. They cannot support their kids because of those, issues that they're having and everything. So I feel like this is nothing. My problems are so easy. If this is what I'm worried about, is just balancing a little bit of time and my schedule, that's nothing.
That's amazing.
In reality.
See, it's a thought process. It's a mindset. We talk about the mindset on here. So what's your mantra? Like, what do you live by? You kind of shared a little bit. You touched on a little bit. Like, what is your mantra?
I would say treating others the way you want to be treated is one of the most important things ever. I stress that with my children. Because right now, there's so much going on with bullying and things like that. I think it's important to raise good people. We need good people in the world. I think it's important that everyone deserves respect. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, I'm not God. I can't judge people. So I just would rather treat them as equal as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like treating people the way you'd like to be treated, and the world would be such a better place. I mean, it's so simple. You know, it doesn't cost anything. It's not huge, you know, or lengthy or anything. It's kind of like something that we should have all learned as children, and a lot of times we lose. But I think that's super important.
And it sounds like, because your passion is working with people, that you do instill that, even if it's a quick, brief meeting or if it's a long, people that are working for, you do kind of try to push that. Our children see everything that we do. And so by our example is how they learn. And so I'm appreciative to hear that your mantra is so positive and pushing people forward, because that's really what we need.
Honestly, if I'm doing a service that costs $10 and a service that costs $300, it doesn't matter. Like nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? I treat the people the same. I don't care if people tip, if they don't tip. I treat people the way I would like to be treated. And you're right. Even if this is a consultation, even if if I'm not going to make any money that day, but it was a bunch of consultations, and I'm just relating my mantra to the business. I treat everyone the same. I think it's important.
Very important. I mean, people will always remember their experience. Right. They may not remember the names of the people or what happened or what they did, but they will remember how they felt when they left that experience. Right. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Plus, I had a wonderful experience, so maybe I'm a little spoiled. I'm not gonna brag, but it was the best, you guys. And even with mine, we had a couple things that kind of went a little crazy. I mean, normal for you. You said they were all normal, but for me, I remember the emotions in between. Like, is everything okay? Does this look right? Is it supposed to be like this? I was super nervous and yes, and I'm like texting her and calling her, and you were so responsive. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I would be thinking this is a crazy mad woman, but she was very reassuring and just here's what you need to do, and simple, and things worked out just fine. So I encourage you guys to learn more about the microblading, because it has changed my life. I never have to think about my eyebrows. I never think about my face besides the quick wash and go, and I feel like I'm already done up. So it was definitely an experience that I appreciate and I feel blessed to have had. Share a little more about, I know we talk a lot about you being a single parent, but my listeners want to hear like tips. They want to know what's going to help them get through their day. And we did talk about self-care, but what are some other things that you can add?
I think the biggest thing that I have learned as far as being a single parent is focusing on your children and not the other person, not the co-parent, because in reality, it's not about what they do or what they don't do. That has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people on timelines, and I'm not huge on social media, but when I am looking once in a while, I see a lot of people that complain and everything. Oh, he doesn't do this, or oh, she doesn't do this. And I feel if you speak on negative things, typically it doesn't change and it stays negative, And so I feel like if you take yourself out of the equation and say, well, are the kids okay? Are they all right, though? That's fine. Okay, so the dad didn't show up. Okay, so the dad doesn't pay child support. Okay, so whoever, the mom or parent doesn't help with birthdays or Christmas, or that is something I feel that they have to deal with God. Like, that has nothing to do with you. As long as you are taking care of what you're supposed to take care of, you have to always remind yourself, my kids are good. That makes being a single parent easy, I feel. Not easy, nothing's easy about it, but I'm saying it makes it easier. Like, if you concentrate on, I'm doing everything I possibly can do then it makes you realize it doesn't matter what they do. If they come through, wonderful. If they see their child that weekend, great. If they happen to buy some school supplies, wonderful. But if they don't, take your emotions out of the equation. Don't worry about it, because as long as you're showing enough love, if you are taking care of your children, God's going to bless you. God's going to take care of the fatherless child. Okay? Not to get all biblical, but honestly, it's a fact. That's, I really feel that way. And so I never called myself a single parent, to be honest. Like, even when, my son was born and everything, for the most part of his life, I've been a single parent. Honestly, even when I was married, I felt like a single parent. Honestly, a lot of people are out there in a relationship, but they're a single parent. They may be the breadwinner. The other parent may not be helping. They may be absent still in the child's life, to be honest with you. It happens. So I feel like that has helped me by making it about my kids, not getting upset, not getting emotional about the other person and their faults, or we all feel our kids deserve the most. I feel my kids deserve everything.
We always want to give our kids what we
so
didn't have.
I feel like they deserve the best father in the world. I want them to love and have a wonderful relationship with that person. I can't make that come about. You have to only worry about things in your control. And if you let a lot of little things go that really don't matter, in reality, it's not up to you. That makes parenting and being a single parent 100 times easier. If you are able to just focus on your daily activities or your daily and your kids' daily things and their goals and how they're doing, and not focus on how you are feeling about the relationship or how they are doing with the other parent. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, it's not your business.
Right. I agree. And you really touched on something that really I want to expand on. You said not to get spiritual, but everybody knows that's what I do.
I'm spiritual,
But I truly believe that what you said was, you feel like your kid should have the best father in the world. And what is awesome is that if you are a believer, you have the opportunity to have the best father possible. Because I believe that God always knows what's best for us, no matter what you're going through. And he's someone that you can confide in, whether you had a father, a mother, or you didn't. So I love that you brought that into perspective, because we are essentially, by raising kids in the way that he has, prepared us to do, we are raising the best children and giving them the best father in the world. So I love that you mentioned that, and I just did want to tie that in. The Bible says very clearly, I am the way, the truth, and the light. And any areas that's dark or hidden or hurting or broken, he can feel it. So I love that you mentioned that.
Right. And honestly, another just quick, quickly, I feel that like I said, a lot of people put a lot of focus on being a single parent when they need to kind of focus on, you know what? Okay, I might be alone, but I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not by myself. If they focus on how easy this could be, or I'm going to do this despite any obstacles I have, if they focus on the positive things, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. I feel like if you are positive and you expect things to be easy because God's helping me, or because I got this, or whatever you need to feel, you aren't going to feel that negativity towards being a single parent. Like, oh, I shouldn't be in this relationship or in this situation, or, oh, well, I thought I was with someone that was going to help me, or, oh, I thought I was married before I thought I did this right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so you kind of, by again, taking your emotion out of it and thinking, you kind of just have to change your way of thinking in order for it to be easy. Mm-hmm. And it can be. I feel like these days, mm-hmm. a lot of people nowadays are saying, I need a break. I can't raise these kids by myself. You know what? They give their kids to the grandparents these days to raise or whatever. I need to find myself. I need to go to school.
Right.
I've never had to leave my kids. Like, they've came
Always
along
been with you.
the whole ride. Mm-hmm. Like, my son has seen everything. And it has made us so tight. Like, I know my kids and I will always be tight because they see how hard I try. They know I've been with them every step of the way. And I think as a single parent, that's what's important.
Right. See, that's so, you just hit on another good point. 2 points. One, you mentioned expecting, the blessing, expecting the miracles. And if you go back to the Bible with the woman with the issue of blood, she was looking for something to change her life. And I always say that you can't just expect it to change your life. You have to change your thinking. And you hit on that. Absolutely. With, once she had that thought in her mind, like, if I just touch him, I don't need him to speak a word to me, but if I touch him, I can be healed. And that's the same thing with us as parents. If we can think positively, we can attract the positivity. If we speak positive, we attract the positive into the kids' lives. My husband's doing this thing where he's getting up in the morning and he'll just go in the mirror, and he's probably going to get mad at me like, babe, are you talking about me on the podcast again? But he'll go in the mirror and he'll say, I'm blessed. And, I have a beautiful wife, and my kids are blessed, and my wife is, prospering. I'm prospering. Like, he says things like that all the time. And
I do too.
I think it's good that he does that because I feel like he's attracting that, and you can almost feel the energy.
I write it down and everything.
See?
Yes, and I keep it in my journal with me. I mean, it's with me every day in my purse. Like, I do. Sometimes you have to look at that.
You do.
Those words throughout the day.
You do, definitely. I'm such a nerd. I keep Bible verses in my purse. Just things that I want to pull up.
My journal has several wrote down that I repeat that I need to look at.
Because when I'm faced with something, I want to say something or do something out of my character. And I'm like, you know what? Let me get a reminder of who I am. And sometimes I have to have those I am statements. And what does God say I am? So I love that you brought that up. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know there's some people that maybe you don't know, maybe you don't believe, but, it's good to find something and start believing in yourself. Start somewhere, start to see all the good things that you can do now and today. And like she said, write them down, make a journal, make it plain. And that's just my tip that I'm throwing in there.
I do. I write my daily goals, my weekly goals, my monthly goals. Like, I'm just a list. Like, I do my to-do lists. And
oh, my goodness.
That's just me. I've always felt like that.
That's a success trait, though. People that are successful, they make their list.
I need to do that.
So talk a little bit more about this. So, like I said, when I say microblading has changed my life, it's not because I needed to have this done, but let me tell y'all, I needed to have this done because I didn't have any tails on my eyebrows. It was like I had one tail on one side, and the other side was kind of like a half a tail that wanted to be there, and it always bothered me. Like, I would go in the mirror and I would correct it, I would fix it, and then I would like end up smudging it throughout the day because I'm so busy. Or I would forget one day and my daughter would be like, Mom, you're surprised and sad at the same time. And I'm like,
stop.
Leave me alone. My kids are funny.
Oh, wow.
So this was something that really just helped me throughout my day. I don't even get up and really do makeup anymore because I feel like my face is done. But you've had some people that have had like really serious issues of why they needed this done. Talk about some of that if you can share.
Yeah. I'm not saying anyone's name.
Right.
Or anything, and that's fine. Nope, I've had a lot of people. Today I did a woman, she was in a car accident 20 years ago. And throughout these last 20 years, she has had about 5 different plastic surgery, operations on the side of her face. And she has a ton of scars. And she had no eyebrow on one side because of the scars. So I was able to create an eyebrow. She was so excited. She was like, every time I walked by the mirror, I would always turn the other direction. Like, I never wanted to look at myself and see like the scars. I had another one similar. She was a teenage, I think she was like maybe 21. She was in a club with her boyfriend or whatever. Long story short, she had a situation where a glass bottle hit her in the face.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And so I've had a lot of those. I had someone a gentleman actually who never grew eyebrows. He never had them. And he said, I've always, been super self-conscious. I would always wear sunglasses or hats. I always felt like I looked like I had cancer
Oh, no.
or something. Yeah, and so we gave him eyebrows. And, yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised at how many little stories that I meet such cool people and hear so many different things. I really, really love what I do. Even little things like pedicures. It was a husband and wife came in. He had worked at GM. He'd never had a pedicure, and it was his anniversary.
Wow.
Wife made him come in. Man, he'd been standing with those steel-toe boots on so long. His nails were super thick and super long. He'd never had one. And so I really had to fight with his feet. But at the end of the day, he felt so good. He's like, I just don't want to wear shoes. You didn't want to put them on. And so I love, love, love the stories that I hear in here and just the relationships I make. And, I love doing what I love doing and meeting the people that I meet. I feel like the clients I have are just, everyone is just great,
That is amazing. And I want to tell you guys how to follow her, because this girl, I'm telling you now, if you're thinking about getting something done with the microblading or lashes or facials, whatever it may be, the pedicures, she surprises me every day, something new. Whatever it may be, now's the time, because her list is getting full. She's getting booked up constantly. So with that being said, shout out how they can follow you and how they can get a hold of you if they're interested.
Yeah. I am on Instagram, Artistry by Alita. I'm on Facebook, Alita Jones. I also have my the business Facebook, which is Shangri-La Spa and Wellness Studio. I'm trying to think what else. Snapchat, Alita Fonseca de la Cruz, if you could find that. But my phone number, 517-505-9377. And I'm wonderful at texting back. Some people don't think so, but I am.
And I'm, of course, going to post the links in the bio and on the page, so you can look for it there. And if you're, not able to find it, you can always send me an email and I'll shoot it to you. Is there anything else you want to add in? Did I forget anything? I mean, we shared so much.
I just appreciate you having me. As always, it's always a good time talking to you.
Anytime.
For a while.
I love coming here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go because I know you have a ton to do today. And I'm also going to let my listeners go. But please, you guys, we talk so much about positivity and a positive journey. And I'm just urging you guys to finish the challenge. Make sure that you're going forward with making sure you are thinking positive thoughts, speaking positively, and trying to move yourself. If you're negative now, that's fine. But move towards that positive direction.
One more thing. Just what we had said early on. Were you worried about starting a business? I want to encourage all of your listeners, if you have a passion or if you have a dream or if you have a talent and you are not using it and you're working for other people, that's fine. We all do that. But if you feel your calling is to open a business, don't be scared. Don't underestimate yourself. It will work out. I've had a ton of adversities. I've gone through a ton of things, and I feel like if I can start a business, anyone really can start a business.
I love hearing that because we definitely push people to go for their dreams. I mean, go for it. It's 2019, y'all. The years are going up. So we can't go backwards. Let's focus on right here, right now. Don't think about the times that you failed or you didn't make it through. Mm-hmm. It's time to think about where we can go from here. And even if you fail, you're still going to learn something. You're going to have another piece of knowledge that you can share with someone else. So I agree with her. Let's do it. 2019.